Sync 1 2 3 1 2 3 sync. Okay, it says I'm live. I believe I'm live. Why not? Let's just get this over with. You see the video? And Creed really is a freaking dumbass SOB because
So, the claim John makes is that speech can be used to resolve the quest to Paradise Falls. What I'm referring to in this stream is this line John says in his video.
You can't just use a speech check to get the kids free, because it would be unrealistic that an experienced leader of slavers could be talked into handing over slaves for no charge.
That is correct. You can't talk the slavers into just giving you the children. He says 2,000 caps for it. But does he say speech is useless overall? I don't think he does. And I went over this once before. Let's just start from here.
Target practice or something.
Once you do get inside though, it's a slave market, so naturally you can just buy the kids. For 2,000 caps, which is a lot of money in Fallout 3, as there's less cash sloshing around than in New Vegas. Alternatively, if you just fancy doing a breakout, there are a few science and repair checks that follow, plus some amusing ways to distract the guard, like paying one of the prostitutes to keep...
There's a speech check there, okay? Yes, John says you can not just talk to the slaver, which is true, and this just seems so dishonest or so autistically directly focused that he's not actually addressing the real point that I'm bringing up. You use speech to get into Paradise Falls for Rescue to Paradise. Then you can do this. You might need some other checks, but is speech not included?
Keep him busy. But the really interesting stuff happens once you're actually ready to break the kids out and let them make a quiet run for the drainage pipe that they can squeeze through. You see, two of the children are happy to go straight away.
Oh, look, another speech check. You can convince them to leave without Penny. Additionally, there's another speech check for Penny, so you don't have to try to save Rory to get Penny to go out.
Another, Penny, refuses to go until her friend Rory is rescued from solitary, except the quest is effectively already complete.
Just because John does not go into the autistic detail that Creetosis really wants, and Creetosis takes a line that's not even in this section, takes it out of context. Creetosis is always saying, oh, he's taking this statement out of context. Frankly, I just skimmed through Creetosis' podcast to get a feel for him, and I picked up that line. Okay, I did not find the context for it because I don't freaking care about the context. Creetosis is wrong. Speech is used very heavily in getting the resolve in Rescue from Paradise if you take this certain route. That is a fact. Creetosis can be autistically and take certain cherry-pick facts to sort of get around the criticism. He's just as hypocritical of John, if not 10 times worse, because of his autistic focus on certain issues and his freaking anti-Bethesda bias. I don't even like what Bethesda's become, but up to a certain point, I respected Bethesda. Not really anymore. I don't give a damn. Starfield, who cares? They have to prove. I need to hear someone I respect saying it's a good game. Most likely it's just going to be a giant sandbox. People applying the criticism Fallout 76 can suck my cock.
Those first two kids can fairly easily be convinced to abandon Penny, and with them rescued you can access the lamplight. Job done. There is literally no in-game benefit to also...
Yes. So, I'm supposed to... And Creetosis is saying that I do live streams. It's called research. I'm trying to put out my research, show the work. Creetosis doesn't care. He turns anything he can into something negative on the other person. Creetosis is a fucking dishonest, freaking, fucking autistic motherfucker who has a hate boner for Bethesda. As I said, I completely understand that, but he's also a fucking retard who can't actually take criticisms, gonna have a breakdown from his critics in the comment section, calling them all dishonest, disingenuous, and all that fucking crap.
rescuing Penny. But it gets more murky yet, because Rory's an adult and you can't sneak him out the same way as the kids. He needs to escape through town, and attempting to get through will turn the whole town against both you and him. Plus, he almost
I don't even know I'm playing the rest of this. This is sort of pointless. This is pointless. Obsessive enough to talk endlessly. Dude, you freaking did 8 hours on just Fallout 3. I'm trying to put in the work to show my thoughts. I thought it was going to, when I heard you did a video on me, I was surprised. You wanted to address this because you thought it was such a severe blow to your credibility. Let me let you know, I'm the only one who's would take you seriously enough to do this. All your fucking fans and critics are just sycophants, cult-like members. He is, though. The comment section, them in the comment section, you in the comment section, you're all terribly retarded who doesn't actually address any criticism. You say, we defend that anyone who argues against you in the comment section just can't accept the criticism. You can't accept reality. Reality is no one cares about your fucking thing. Your mindset is so freaking in the minority. I understand why you feel like you're raging, why you're taking out your anger on everything. You need to chill. You need to talk about things you are positive. I'm a fan of Mueller. Even he can take a chill pill and not rage out on everything. He can have fun. He can tell jokes. You cannot. You're too fucking serious. You're not. You shit on people. And there was another thing saying Star Wars is a complex story. No, Star Wars is a very simple story. It comes from Joseph Campbell's Hero with 1,000 Faces. I don't think you fucking know what you're talking about half the time, and I don't really care anymore. But I thought I would do this live stream. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I went on my little rant and I ignored my live chat. Oh, I didn't think I would be doing a live stream, but that video took me by surprise, and it was just so freaking dumb. It's not even funny. Let's do more Creetosis bashing. Oh, look, there's me. I don't even care. I know he talks shit about me in live streams. I know he's a shitty ass individual who probably has no balls to debate me. He called me dishonest and disingenuous on Mahler's server, and he ran away like a chicken little shit bitch he is. Because he can't defend his ideas in a debate. I'm not even that good at that.
John says if
But let's look over this. Just because I'm on this roll, might as well make it into a stream. Any of his
Going back in
bitch-ass
style
audience
doesn't have to break the bank
come
with
after
great
me?
it's in the entire game.
Come on.
Alternatively,
open call
you could just leave them to fend for themselves.
Yeah, bitch-ass metagamer. Let me see. Gray something. Buzzard was... I did a morning stream where I was comparing Mahler to Creetosis, that sort of shit. And Buzzard asked me how metagaming I used Creetosis of thinking like a metagamer, who is rather shitty in D&D overall. Metagamers and D&D is craptastic. Generally, most people hate them, don't like playing with them, and all that fun stuff. Let's get to a random point in this. Still, he didn't understand in a single player game why thinking like a metagamer when
Even so, I think
when you're criticizing people in a metagamer context, like even with his freaking his analysts of full, nearly complete. Let's see how well that ranks on his channel. Look, this is his most popular video. It almost doubles this one, and he barely got anything on his actual complete analysis. It's so pathetic. Going after John is his namesake. That's why he has to defend it so hard. Oh, such a fucking dishonest prick, and he wants to come after me. And the gaslighting is incredible.
I think there's a lot more consequences than people give Fallout 3 credit for, but just like the hubris comic solution to the superhuman gambit, I think some people didn't see them and just assumed they weren't there.
Wouldn't that be the problem then? If these consequences...
So, Creetosis automatically say you don't see it. Oh, reconnect it. Creetosis is the embodiment of the entitled gamer. I understand having criticism, but Creetosis, he wants everything to be explained for him. I really think he probably is autistic to a certain degree. I'm not going to knock him for it, but seriously, the dude has problems.
are so hard to find, to the point of players missing them entirely. That seems to reflect how poorly these consequences are implemented. Because really, that's half the battle. It's not enough that consequences exist, they should be significant enough that the player has a very reasonable chance of dealing.
Why should they be significant enough dealing with them? He definitely entitled ass freaking gamer. Different games exist for different reasons. Did the original Fallout just explain everything to you? No. You had to search for stuff. This is following the tradition as far as I can tell.
Dealing with them. Not to mention, this game entirely lacks any end slides relating to the various quests you do that describe the long...
He's complaining about the freaking end slides. I thought it was the game that mattered. You criticizing a game for not having a slideshow at the end? That is so freaking pathetic. Oh, he is such a lame duck. It's not even funny. Well, someone brought it up to me. I thought it was funny. I thought he would be better off just ignoring me. But he had to push back on my freaking claim that he's either an idiot or dishonest with that one clip. Fine. He can call me whatever he wants. No one respects Creetosis outside of his little small, tight-knit community. It's sort of a joke.
long-term ramifications of your...
As I said, I'm done with it after this week. Not even going to touch Creetosis after this Friday. But I'm going to put a live stream on the schedule for Friday if any of his friends work out there. All these live streams, I swear, I tried to show the work of me going through his video and he says I'm obsessed. Just such bad faith argumentation. I mean, someone takes a look, watches a lot of his work, goes over it tries to go over in a fair and thorough manner, it's obsessed. Not trying to understand his reasoning, his approach to criticism, that is obsession. That's just called doing research on the matter and trying to understand people. I still don't understand his sense of ethics. I don't...
actions. Aside from simple karma levels, whether you activate the purifier or not, and whether you poison the water or not. It doesn't help that broken steel doesn't seem to recognize your actions either.
You see, the reputation system makes consequences very obvious. New Vegas literally pauses the game to tell you that you're now accepted or idolised or vilified by a particular faction. Fallout 3, meanwhile, handled its consequences a bit more subtly. You see, Fallout 3's wasteland is populated overwhelmingly by drawing...
Fallout 3's morality system is pretty much from the Bible. It is a very Bible-themed game. It is right there in the text. They start with a Bible quote, and they try to play the whole game off of that. Is it some pretentious BS? Absolutely. It's going to attract a certain demographic, though, at least in the time frame it's at. no one respects the Bible. I personally used to be a fan of Jordan Peterson, and his Bible. Oh, I didn't actually listen to much, but there is some story. The Bible is one of the most famous books ever written. Even if you don't believe in it, it is famous. Superman, dude, I saw someone saying Superman is an allegory for Jesus or some crap like that, and that's total bullshit. It's Joseph Campbell's Hero with a Thousand Faces.
Random events out of a deck. Completing quests in a particular way added additional events to that deck, but because it was still a random draw, you might not see it on that playthrough, but they were still there. And what I particularly liked about that system was it meant you got to see the consequences of your small decisions live, when even New Vegas mostly didn't do that. Let me give you an example. In New Vegas, you might choose to help the ghouls at the Retcon test site escape in their rockets, but there's no in-game payoff to that aside from the quest rewards. The actual consequence for the ghouls themselves is only relayed via the ending slideshow. Literally, it is told, not shown.
Yes, these games have done end slides since the beginning, the purpose of which is to show the long-term consequences of your actions.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, long-term actions. Your long-term actions is showed in a slideshow. That is the most basic bitch thing. I don't know why he's pointing this. It's just his hang up on the original games. I don't even know if he likes the original games. Oh, so sad, so sad. Such a pathetic, nostalgia blind motherfucker.
That the game itself cannot portray, or consequences so far down the line, that the only way to let you know what happened is to tell you, such as Myron dying in Fallout 2. The Repcon Ghouls ending is something the player won't see the consequences for because they literally launch themselves out of the playable area, and additionally, the results come after the game ends anyways. It's quite literally impossible to game what the long-term ramifications are.
Okay, these are not actually. They are criticisms. I will agree, they are criticisms, but they're
Due to the
padding.
radiation, it's making it far more. Adds a ton of weight to the decision. Tim Kaine in Interplay even received letters from fans after Fallout 1.
See, emotional argument here. I swear. Yeah, that is rather crappy. That is the god of Fallout 3. I did a whole rant on that. That is funny. I think it's really craptastic, the morality system, but it fits the theme of the game. I'm not going with the theme defense, but it really is the good evil route. And there's also the neutral route for that, that speech option, which is sort of lame just to try to balance that neutrality. Really did play into that morality, but it did really had an interesting effect on the game. Not good, interesting. Definitely, the morality system has issues, but it does lead to interesting things, like not getting some companions. I tried to been playing recently and I tried to get a robot companion from the junk trader guy. There was a gutsy military model, I forget its name, that didn't like to look at me. I'm like, what's my karma? Good. I guess he doesn't like good people. Did he want evil robot or neutral? Cold, hard neutral. Roy, Twisted Roy Phillips are listed. Wow. Well,
Telling them how the bad ends as a result of their choices, such as Necropolis dying out, made them replay the game.
And then when the game ended itself, that's when we came up with the idea of, hey, we're going to show you slides and say, because you acted this way, here's what's happening to these people that you have been playing this game on Shady Sands or the Hub. And so their only source of why the whole game, because they didn't want to see that slide. They couldn't live with the idea that they
across so many consequences. For example, did you know that if you persuade the antagonizer to leave town purely because the mechanist isn't worth her time in the Superhuman Gambit, there's a chance you'll stumble across her later attacking random wastelanders with her amps? Depending on how you resolve trouble on the home front, you can run into vault dwellers thriving on a trading trip, or stumble across a martyr being interrogated by the Enclave if you force them out. After completing Riley's Rangers, you can run into Donovan fighting even more mutants, assuming he survived in the first place, betray Sydney in stealing Independence, and she can hunt you down with her friend Emmeline, help Big Town, and you can run into a trader who's delivering whatever it is you taught them how to use. There's even consequence events for tiny...
There's some nice details to add into the world as a result of completing quests.
Does he say something good?
However, the problem is, as John described it,
Of course, he can't actually just have a single good thing to say about Fallout 3. That would ruin his whole narrative. I haven't tried that. That would be messed up. I would have to confirm that.
these are random encounters. Fallout 3 has a specific mechanic.
Well, if it is the Old Testament God that the morality of Fallout 3 is based on, that might actually make good sense. Go forth and procreate, no matter what. God is fucked up, and the God of Fallout 3 is fucked up. I will agree with that.
Where a bunch of events are made that can appear in any number of specific locations, a quick example being the Karma Bounty Hunters. They don't actually hunt you down, they spawn when you're near one of these random encounter locations. The huge problem with this system is the fact that there's so many random events, including some that repeat, that you might not ever see the ones related to the quests you do, especially if you're not exploring purely for the sake of exploring. As such, it's a bit of a piss-poor way to portray consequences from your choices, made worse by the lack of endslot, and by the fact there are extremely few static consequences in the world, where something is changed, and Harkness being replaced as the chief of Reddit City Security, because of course they had changes. If you complete 3-card battle, actually relocate, they don't actually if this event, because now Bethesda has to keep them within the confines.
He goes on and on and on and on and on about all the problems of the game, and I can't take him seriously. I just can't. It just gets to a certain point where he's just gaslighting, in my personal opinion. He's just trying to pile on all the criticisms he can think. I'm sure some of them are, if you throw out enough people who played the game, did all this stuff, will eventually hook onto something.
And just assumed it wasn't
And
that.
then they'll start believing the stuff they really don't know about or don't agree with in some context.
There.
This is what being absurdly positive in defense of something looks like. It's like listening to a used car salesman. It's not.
Yeah, you're the one trying to con people out of buying. Oh, go to our dealership and not your dealership. Oh, well. Yeah, Danger Stranger is the truth. But yeah, I think
Not that these encounters can be entirely missed by people, because they might not even spawn in. It's that they were so well implemented into the game that people didn't even realize they were there. But these are game design wizards who do.
Mocking people. Mockery. Good tactic. He should have picked that for me. Cherry picked. Oh, here's one of his cherry picks.
Negative about New Vegas, going so far as to outright completely ignore context in a number of scenarios, cherry-pick parts of dialogue to support his points, while ignoring dialogue from the same character that goes against his point, and going on a lengthy personal theory without any actual evidence to back it up.
Yes, John does do a lot of personal theories, but he does provide the evidence to back it up. This is partially correct, partially not. Bethesda already blueprint, blah, 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 long term, consequence choice, not enough, da, da, da. Yeah, well, I addressed what I wanted to. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This impromptu. Invite any critics of me or anyone Friday, where I finished this whole saga up. Okay, I'll turn this into a smaller video and post it actually instead of unlist it, but it'll still be unlisted. Take care, gents.